Beginners English 2. I'm sure most of you have missed my soothing voice. Nice to talk to everybody again. I figured instead of making a typed Edmodo post, I would make a YouTube post. So here we go. Today is March 28th, 2020. It is also a Saturday, so there's just like the timestamp kind of thing. I'll try to do this from time to time, maybe once a week, to do a post and a review, so you don't have to just keep reading text, so you can listen and look at something if you want to. So things I've realized over the first 2 weeks of this quarantine-y kind of limbo we're in. One, working at home and working at school are not the same. I don't mean this for you, though it's true for me. I don't mean this for me, though it's true for me. I mean it for you. So everyone here has different situations, and those situations can be very, very chaotic. Some of you might have 3 siblings that all go to school, and you have one device to do work on, or inconsistent internet. Or some of you now are the main babysitters in your family, or some of you have to work for your family, or some of you have to make all the dinner, or whatever. So everyone has all sorts of different situations, and or let's just say that, even if you have enough devices per person, but you live in a small place with many people, how are you supposed to do a lot of live chats for school in a room in which other people are doing live chats? So things are very chaotic, way more than just like a spring break would be. But still, there needs to be an amount of responsibility and accountability for you and for me. Okay, so some big updates for going forward. You've seen this. This is the schedule. So what we've been told how this is supposed to work is it's A-Day, B-Day. Wednesdays are like planning days for us. There's half the classes on A-Days, half the classes on B-Days. They each happen twice a week. Anything that I make due has to be due, if it's like for periods 1 to 4, has to be on a Monday and a Thursday. It can't be the other days, and vice versa. So things can only be due 2 days a week, and each of these 2 days should have an interactive aspect to it. Should have not necessarily something alive, but something interactive, where there's a video or a PowerPoint or something, not just you looking at words on a screen. So it's very vague, it's very open, but that's the policy. Now let's look at my schedule here. I teach 1, 5, 6, 7, 9. So this is my normal schedule, and the second half of my day is way more heavy than the first half. One of the things this does is it gives me 4 classes on Friday and just 1 on Thursday. So what I'm going to do, so period 1, this is for you, lucky you, period 1. I'm going to make all the due dates for anything on a Tuesday or a Friday. So period 1, just interpret it like this. I'm just not going to look at your work that you hand in until the next day. Okay? It's still quote-unquote due on this day, but I'm not checking it until this day. Okay? That just makes things way easier for me, way easier for my brain, way easier for checking gradebooks and things like that. Okay, so going forward. 1, there will be no live work. There will be no thing that's live that you have to log on to in a certain 40-minute window and be there live to do. Work will be done at your availability. So it'll be due on Tuesdays or Fridays, or Tuesdays and Fridays or whatever, but you'll have the big window to do it. So there'll be nothing that forces you to have to show up at a certain time, because some people it's just impossible for you to do that. So whatever time I set, if it's 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 10, 11, 12, whatever, some of you can get there and some of you can't get there, and to me that's unfair. So I'm going to do a lot of pre-recorded stuff like this, so treat this as the live interaction. Okay. And then 2 days a week, so on Tuesday and Friday, I'll have multiple live optional Zoom conferences. So Zoom is like a Google Hangouts kind of thing, where I'm there with the video, and you can choose to log in and type stuff in or talk to me directly. I'll probably do anywhere between 3 and 5 per day on a Tuesday and a Friday. I'll actually let you know when the windows will be, or when those will be. But there'll be 30-minute windows where anyone can log. I'll literally just be sitting there, like on my laptop, waiting for people to show up, and you can just show up, talk about something, ask me questions about work, ask me questions about, I guess, gradebook, whatever you really want. And this is completely optional. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to do one that's like after hours, like from 8 to 8:40 or 7 to 7:40, so it will meet other people's schedules. But that's also highly dependent on my toddler son, how well he's sleeping that night, if he goes to sleep on time or whatever. So everything is on Edmodo. It's all due on Turnitin except for the little posts. And YouTube is another new headquarters. I'll give you the link for my YouTube channel. I just made it. That's where this video is coming from, obviously. Okay, so let's talk about Macbeth. So, let's assume... how to put this? Okay. I've learned that Shakespeare's done best live in front of a teacher, so you can ask questions and interact. I'm going to assume that either, and this is not true, this is not guaranteed, but I'm going to assume that we're either not coming back this year, or we're going to come back so late this year that there won't be time to do something substantial, like another 4 weeks of live Macbeth. So I have to jump the gun and do Macbeth at home. Now, before you say, no, Mr. B, this is not what you said we need to do it live, you're right, but there's no other option. So what I'm doing is I'm recording my close reading with the text on the screen as YouTube videos, me doing a close reading of the entire play. Basically what we did in class, that exact same thing, but with no interaction. But that's what the Zoom will be, and that's what, of course, email will be. You can interact with me. So I'll be doing it on my own free time, recording, whole scenes with the audio, with the text, and with my comments, with my live comments. It's almost like I'm in an empty classroom teaching it to nobody. So that's what's going to happen. The original plan for the rest of the year looked like this. We were going to do and finish Macbeth, then spring break was going to happen, then we were going to spend a week wrapping up Macbeth. We were going to do a new novel, which I hadn't planned yet. I just knew there was going to be space for a new novel. We're going to do 1 to 3 weeks on cultural relativism, and then there would be finals. So here's the new plan. We've been doing the contingency plans, which for most of you, it's a novel. It replaces the new novel we were going to do. I'll ask you some questions about that later, but 3 weeks is basically what we would spend on reading a novel. So if you think about reading a short novel. Okay. And then we're going to, upcoming, you're going to, I finished Act 1 with all my my English 2 classes, so you're going to review Act 1 if you need to. And then we'll start Act 2. And then there'll be spring break. Then we'll come back. We'll finish up Macbeth. We'll do the wrap-up on Macbeth. And we'll do the cultural relativism stuff. So really, we're doing what we were going to do already, except the contingency plans replaced the new novel, and the contingency plans were a novel. So it's like you got the new novel, you just didn't get it in the way I had planned. Okay. Let's look at the stuff that was originally due before contingency break happened. So you had your scene logs that would happen per act of the play, and I was going to introduce close CRs, close readings. It just didn't happen yet. Then there's the first part of the Laws of Power project. Then the 4 song figurative language annotations. and then the full project. So let's adjust that for the time being. Okay, so there's still going to be scene logs, and there's going to be close readings per scene too. Not for Act 1, but for the other acts. The Laws of Power Project 1, or Part 1, is still happening, where you read that chapter, and you do a digital annotation of it and summary, and then you submit it. The 4-song figurative language is being canceled, but I'll still accept it for extra credit, and the full version of the Laws of Power project is also being canceled. So I'll give you a second to cheer. Okay, so a few things. Number one, we've been advised, don't give as much work as you would normally give with them being home because of the extra chaos and stress and anxiety and things like that. But then also, timing messes up. So after Macbeth, there's the Macbeth essay. And then that's fairly close to the end of the school year. And all sorts of other things. So timing's not going to work either. So I'm going to give you less total work, but I'm just going to find the best work to give you, or the most relevant work to give you. It's not going to be a walk in a park. It's not going to be pretend learning. But yeah. So here's our general weekly outline. For next week, that's the last week of the contingency plans. And if you need to review Act 1, you can review Act 1. I just put up those videos. The next week will be Act 2. Then it'll be spring break. Spring break is still the thing. There'll be no work due during spring break. Then we get back. The next week will be Act 3. The next week will be Act 4. And I'm not going super far into the future. Let's continue. And so here are all the upcoming due dates that you need to know for now. Tuesday of this week, there's the third novel post and replies. I still need to post that. That's like pages 100 to 150. And on Friday, it's the last set of the posting and the replies. That's from 150 to the end of the book. So that should finish the book. Tuesday of the following week, that's when the contingency plan is due. And then Friday of that week, that's when the Act 1 scene logs are due. So most of you have them already done. Take a picture, put that in a doc, upload that to Turnitin. I do have a type-in template that if you want to use that, you can use that. And if you're one of like the 2 or 3 people that left it at school, sorry, you shouldn't have done that. And it wasn't due yet. There's a reason why it wasn't due yet. So you can, I guess, redo it. I think there's a fairly good chance none of us will be back at school before the year ends. Some last things. The best way to contact me is my Gmail email. It's not my school email. It's not an Edmodo post. It's not an Edmodo message. It's my Gmail email. I check that multiple times per day. It works best on my phone. The school email is always weird, especially on my phone. Edmodo doesn't always update me. And if you make a post on Edmodo, it's very likely it's just going to get pushed down by things that are happening. Okay. Turnitin started working again. It's not working completely for some reason. I'm still looking into that, but it's working again. So please move all of your essays, or you keep them on Google Classroom, and if you're one of the people that took them off of Google Classroom, please put it back. Re-upload your essays to Turnitin. Turnitin is just a better platform for me to look at things. And from now on, everything else is due on Turnitin. The contingency plans will be due on Turnitin. That's the way we'll digitally submit. How will essays work? That's a good question. So, since no one handed in print copies of essays, one of the things with essays is I always feel like I can be harsh with essays as long as I can give you feedback and do your essay repairs. Like, work on that feedback. And if I can't do that, to me, I'm not justified in being harsh. So generally, when there's no rubric, because you didn't get to you didn't print your essays, you didn't staple them to the front. When there's no rubric, I generally don't put on comments because I can't get them back to you. And since there's no comments, that means there's no essay repairs, which means there's no bonuses. So I'm just going to grade them, give them a grade, and just grade them less harshly because I don't have the ability to put comments on. Now, what I could do on Turnitin or on Google Classroom is manually type comments in. I'm not as good at that. That requires way too much staring at the computers, and my old man eyes just can't do that. So I'm just going to read them. I'll give you a grade. It's still based on the rubric, but I'll give you a grade that will be far less harsh than what I would if I was just writing on it. So you can all be happy about that, and I'll give you a chance to cheer. Okay. And I'd still like to do some Socratic circles. So I have the prep sheets mostly already made. The prep sheets are easy. I can just make them digital. You type your answers in. But how the Socratic circles actually happen, I'm thinking about doing it the way sorry, I'm blanking out. I'm thinking about doing Socratic circles the way we're doing kind of the novel posts now, where I do it per class. Everyone has to do like one post and 2 comments, maybe, or maybe I'll make it optional that I open up a Zoom and the Zoom is set aside for a Socratic circle. We'll see how well the Zooms go. If anyone has any recommendations for how a Socratic circle can work, let me know. And remember, and this is my favorite quote, which is no longer a wall quote, it's just a quote in a box in my classroom. You are stronger than life is terrible. Let me say that again. You are stronger than life is terrible. Everyone, take care, have a good day, and go!